Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. I'm Dr. Latoya Hodges, and we are finishing up. We are on day 19. What day are we on? We're on day 20. So we got today and tomorrow, and then we're going to be done. Sounds exciting, right? Okay, so yesterday or the past few days, we've really been talking about perseverance, we talked about motivation, we created strategies. So in this course, we have learned about overcoming setbacks, maintaining your motivation for your goals, develop a habit of persevering. And so now for today and tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to get to put all of this together to create our own unique success story. So this lesson today is to help you prepare for writing that story. So as we talk about preparing to write your own success story, here's the thing that I want you all to know, that everybody in the world wants to be successful, and they can be successful. You can be successful in both your personal and your professional life. And it's important to be in both. You know, we don't want to be successful in our personal life and have our professional life and then have our personal life in shambles. And you can observe a lot of that if you look at celebrities. You sit there and be like, how do these people with all of this money and all of this success go through some of the stuff that they're going through? Because they haven't monitored or figured out how to be successful in both personal and professional lives. And then you see some actors that have long-term marriages that are never caught up in any craziness. Like I look at Denzel Washington, I look at Tom Hanks, like, you look at some of those people, and when you hear them talk, they talk about the importance of both their personal success and their professional success. And that is an equal balance. Okay. So here's the thing. Not everyone takes the steps that they need to become successful. So our story and what we're doing today is I want you to ask yourself these questions. Are you willing to take the steps necessary to become successful? Are you? Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone? Are you ready to write your own success story? Because here's the thing. Only you can do it. Only you. I cannot. There's nothing that I can do that can write your story. And that's what I think sets me apart from so many other people. I don't tell you what to do. And I won't tell you what to do. I will give you guidance, and I will teach you the tools that are necessary for you to figure out what you need to do for you. Because guess what? I take zero residence in your mind, in your life, or in your body. I have zero residence there. I'm not paying none of the rent in your mind. I can't. Only you can do this. Okay. So, next question. What does success look like to you? What does it look like? To some people, being successful means that they own their own business. They have a large house. They have enough extra money to spend on anything that they want. When you look at stay-at-home moms, they see success as raising their children to be productive members of society. There are some people that feel their success is being happy and at peace. So what does success look like to you? There are many ways to view success, and there are many ways to reach it. So Before you embark on this exercise of writing your own success story, do you know what form you would like to see your success story take? And what that means, in what ways do you want to be successful? What does that look like? I have some clients that have debilitating diseases. To them, success would be like to be able to walk without pain, to be able to not worry and not be hurting and not feel sick every day. That looks like success to them. I have some clients where their goal is to own a business and help the world, to have the big house, to have the financial security. What does success look like to you? The next question is, do you know where you're going? Before you head on a journey across the country, there are some steps you're going to take, right? First, you're going to determine where you're starting at, and then you're going to know where you're ending. And then you're going to plot the route to take the steps along the way. It's the same damn thing that we need to do when we're becoming successful, except that the journey will start with you writing your own success story and determining the goals to get there and the route you need to take. Because guess what the final destination is? The final destination is your success. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to really sit here and look like, how do you see yourself now? Currently, where are you in relation to your final goal of success? The answer will depend on the goal you've chosen. So, are you starting a new business venture? Do you need to lose weight? Have you decided to learn a new skill? Your success story begins when you know where you are and have a plan on how to reach your ultimate goal. To help determine where you are or what you may want to include in your new plan, look around you. Are you currently doing things that may be sabotaging your chances for success? This may have been part of the reason you haven't been successful in the past. Are there habits that hold you back? Do you need to go back to school to reach your goal? Decide now that you're willing to do whatever it is necessary to become a success and include the necessary steps in your plan. Okay. Then I want you to take a look at how you see your past failures, because no matter how much I talk, people still look back and they look at those failures. So do you see your past failures as a reason of why you can't start over? Do you see them as an obstacle to your success? That's one way to look at your failures, but it may not be the best way to view them, because from another viewpoint, you probably learned something from them, and that is a good thing. For example, when I first came home, and for those of you that do not know my story, 7, 8 years ago, I ended up working for someone. Well, I actually worked for them like 15 years ago. 10 years later, the feds started investigating them and they found a letter of resignation from me that said I was leaving because I felt like something fraudulent was happening. Well, guess who showed up to see me? And it was an election year. They needed to put a lot of people in prison because it made it look good, because the person that was running for attorney general. So guess what helps people get that position is how many people that they put in prison and how much money that they feel like they recouped. Okay. I ended up going to prison and it was hard. And when I came home, the number one thing that I was like, who's going to hire me? No one is going to hire me. I'm not going to be hired. But here's the thing. I could have used that to bring me down. But instead, what I did is I looked at it from a different viewpoint. While I was in prison, I watched everything I built for the last 10 years, my businesses that I built from the ground up, I watched them crumble. There was absolutely nothing I can do. The entire life I had, I watched crumble to the ground. And the only thing I had left was my strength and my skill set and my knowledge. So what did I do? Yeah, it took some days to cry. It probably took a lot of days to cry. But I wasn't going to let that stop me. So what did I start doing? I went to the people in prison and I'm like, hey, here's all my education. I've been a teacher. Here's the things I can teach. Are there places that I could teach? So guess what I did? I started teaching in the GED room. I helped people graduate with their GED. I started teaching business development. I taught over 45 people how to build a business in prison. So when they walked out, they could start a business. I taught people about bookkeeping, of what they needed to do. I taught people how to do resume building. I even was teaching people how to heal themselves and set themselves free in prison. But what did prison do for me? It removed all those people that were leeches from me. It removed me realizing how many things I were doing that was people pleasing. It allowed me to get clarity in my life. Prison taught me how to be free. Because what I realized, that I had put myself in a mental and emotional prison and physical prison long before I ever went to prison. Going to prison freed me from all of that. I don't go back and look at that situation as a failure. I look at that situation as the best damn stepping stone that took me to another level. It got me to my purpose. Okay, so by saying that, you can see that those lessons that I needed to learn from, because it helped me get into further action of what I was supposed to do. So if nothing else, they gave me an experience, and anything that you've gone through has given you an experience in what not to do in the same situation. So what did I learn from this situation? I learned to be aware of the people that I'm surrounding myself with. If I feel like something doesn't feel right within me, that I need to exit the situation. That I have always looked out for everybody else. And one of the reasons I ended up going to prison is because they gave me an ultimatum. You could either plead guilty or this. And this was worse than this, believe it or not, because this, there was no way that I was going to let all these people that were innocent go through what I just went through. I wasn't. And they were trying to come after all my employees, my family. I had 3 family members that owned huge businesses that were all federally funded. They were going to go visit all of those individuals if I didn't plead guilty. So I pled guilty, and I don't regret it because it helped me. But what I'm saying is now I created boundaries in my life that never put me in that situation again. Okay. So Thomas Edison is somebody that I have studied, and he was brilliant. But the one thing he always kept saying was, I haven't failed. I found 10,000 ways that don't work. He also said that many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close to where they were to success when they gave up. And that's important, because we all have the ability to look at something, and some people look at the same glass and some people see it half full while others see it half empty. It's all of how you perceive things. what may seem like a failure when you're in the midst of it may actually be a great learning experience that gives you the knowledge that you need to succeed in the future. Perhaps failing will allow you to see a need that no one has considered in the past. Because of your need, you end up coming up with a great solution. You can now start to view your future failures differently than the way you viewed them in the past. There's no reason why you can't make changes to move forward rather than falling backwards. And that's the beauty. You know, I created something called the Mind Gym. And the reason I created it is because I was starting to help so many people, and they were all coming with the same thing. I don't even know where to start. I just know that I feel miserable. I know that I'm stressed out. I'm full of anxiety. I'm I'm depressed. I can't sleep. I can't do this. I'm doing. And they're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know how to start the healing process. So I created the Mind Gym so you would know where to start. Because guess who else experienced the same thing? Me. I didn't know where to start. I'm sitting in prison and my whole life is crumbling. I did not know where to frigging start. But I knew that I couldn't stay on that ground for long. Okay? So, what changes do you need to make? Do you see yourself as a failure or a success? Here's the most important one. What type of self-talk do you use? Seriously. Amazingly, people don't really think about these things when they begin to search for success. The answer you give to these questions can determine whether or not you're going to be successful. How do you talk to yourself? Here's the thing, and I say this all the time. If somebody talked to your friends or your family or your kids the way you talk to you, what would you do? I guarantee you, everybody's answer is, I would whoop that person's ass. So we're not going to whoop your own ass because that's going to be kind of hard, even though sometimes you do. But here's the thing, you can change that. Henry Ford once said, if you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. So in other words, how you think you can have a large impact on your reality and how well things work out for you. So think about that. How you think can have the largest impact on your reality and how it works out for you. If you see yourself as success, or if you see yourself as a failure, that's your choice. Because what you see as a failure, someone else can see as a success. So many people are like, you went to prison. Oh my God, that's a failure. I look at like it was a success. Going to prison saved my life. Okay? If you realize that you've always seen yourself nearly making your goals, but never actually attaining them, you can change your mind right now. And all you have to do is write your success story. That's it. That's it. So, what I want you to do today is I want you to look at your past failures. Describe to yourself how you could have used those experiences as a stepping stone to success. And then I want you to consider how you viewed them at that time. Would the more positive perspective have resulted in a different long-term outcome? I'm going to upload a how to write your success story worksheet in the portal. So that way you can use this worksheet and use the valuable self-reflection questions that will help you write your own success story. Because writing your own success story is critical, okay? It is critical. It is critical. All right. I am so proud of you guys. I appreciate all of you. And I know y'all got this. I know it. And I'm so excited to hear about all of the success stories and how you've accomplished your goals. And I know it's going to be incredible. I love you all. And I will see you on our next module. And then we would have completed it. And you are now going to be considered mentally tough. All right. Later.